So this week I was added to a new press mailing list, and among the brilliant reggae tracks that landed into my mailbox, I got to listen to the new EP from someone I hadn't heard before. The 7-track EP was entitled My Time, and after listening to it, I just had to chat to the artist, currently in Miami, and very kindly taking some time out of her day to talk to me in Offbeat Intros. Lady Tia, hello.
Hi.
How are you doing? Yeah, I'm amazing. Thank you very much for asking. Weird times at the moment. How are you coping?
Not coping at all. I actually want things to go back to normal.
I think everybody does. You're not on your own there.
Yeah.
But let's chat about your music anyway, because that brightened up my week for sure this week.
Nice.
Yeah, it really did. It really did. Now, in Offbeat Intros, I like to come at it from the point of view of introducing the artist from scratch. So for those who are listening that might not have heard of you or your music, could you please give us a bit of a look back into the musical career of Lady Tia?
Well, Lady Tia basically started out years ago. I started out as a disc jock. I used to go out and spin records with my brothers. That's how, it pretty much started. When you have a musical background, that's the part of it. I was approached years after by an artist, by Marcia J. Ball, that I ended up being her manager. Did that for a couple years and decided to take the forefront and put myself out there for the world to hear and know who Lady Tia is.
So you barged her out the way and said, get off that stage, I want to have a go.
Yes.
Why not? If you've got the feeling, just go for it.
Yeah.
So tell me about the moment you went out on your first stage, maybe your first release. Anyone notable that had an effect on your career?
Actually, Hopeton Lindo, we did background vocals for him 1 year. And that's how actually this all started. He said to me, oh my God, I love your voice. You need to start singing. And I said, oh, Hopeton, please. I'm trying. He says, no, you're not trying. You're singing. So you need to, pursue this. Well, good friend of mine that had a band, we were singing with the band for, I want to say maybe about 2 years with the band on and off. And Barris Hammond actually came into the venue where we were one night. And when I got off the stage, he called me over and he was like, oh man, I really love your voice. I would literally sit here all night and listen to you sing. And I was like, whoa. So between, them two and a good friend of mine that passed away that had a studio, Gary Wong, told me to, just stop doing what I'm doing and go for it, put music out there. So that's what I did.
And I don't think it's going too badly, do you?
No. No, it's not at all. 2018, I actually launched my first single thanks to, my producer, Richard Grant from Poor Man Productions. He called me to the studio. He was like, hey, I have a beat I need for you to write to this track. And I literally was in the studio and I started singing words. He told me, he says, you know what? Hold that thought. Go in the voice room and voice the demo because I'll give it to someone to sing. I was like, okay. Went in there, voiced it. I came back out and he was like, all right, I'm going to give the demo to the person and I'll let you know. 2 weeks later, I got a phone call from him and say, hey, I need you to come to the studio because I want you to hear the song, how the person sang the song. And I was like, oh yeah, because, I'm excited. I wanted to see if the person was going to give it the same justice of how it's supposed to be delivered. Lo and behold, when I went to the studio, it was me with background vocals.
It's only words, and words are all I have to take your heart away.
And the next thing I know, it was sent out that Saturday to the radio station and started getting played. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, fast forward and it went a bit crazy for you. I mean, it is a big song.
Yes.
What made you choose that one?
That song, I used to do karaoke, and that was one of my favorite songs that I would sing at karaoke. So that's how this song came about.
Gotcha. Okay. Yes, the song that we're going to play, with your permission, one of my favourite ones out on the EP when I listened to it, and I wondered if you'd be so kind as to introduce it.
Sure. This song was actually written by a good friend of mine, Leonard Samuels. I just went to him one day and said, can you write a song to this rhythm for me? And he was like, send me the rhythm. And he sent it back. And I literally fell in love with the song because it's pretty much dealing with everything that's going on right now, people, need to be cautious, and who better to have as your key but God, Jah, so a lot of people will relate to this song.
Lovely. Let's get it on. Lady Tia, Jah is my key. That one, Jah is my key, Lady Tia, playing on Offbeat Reggae Radio. I have Lady Tia still on the blower, and we're talking next about music that has shaped hers, influences. What comes to mind when I say, what do you listen to in the shower?
Well, actually, majority of my songs come from, the yesteryears, as I call them, back in the days, because these are the songs that I grew up on, the Alton Ellis, Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Marcia Griffiths, and the list goes on. Those were the songs that on a Sunday, believe it or not, we listened to in Jamaica, because there was a program that was there called a Sunday Serenade. It started at 2:00, and, while you're cooking dinner, you're listening to all these latest hits. And those are the songs that I still gravitate to. And I've noticed no one is actually bringing those songs back. So I just thought that as an upcoming female, keep it to my roots and bring those songs back so people can relate to them.
Every single artist that you just mentioned is a classic, aren't they? They will always be played, I think. I worry about music sometimes, and because we're always harping back to, within any genre, artists that are from the the 70s and the 80s. 90s, I just think dance music, so that's a bit different. Different kind of cheesy, that one. But yeah, we're always harping back to the 70s and 80s, and I think if you can grab just a little bit of that and put it into your own music, you're on a winner, because when you listen to commercial stations these days, they're always playing songs still from those eras, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
So tell me about the influences and how they influenced your music particularly.
The influences are basically the songs that my dad used to listen to, so I gravitated to that. Like I told you, I just want to keep it to the roots, and these are the songs that I sing pretty much every day. Even my kids grew up listening to these songs, and they play them in their cars now. People look at them and say, where you know that music from? And the first thing they say, oh, my mom and my granddad. That's what I try to do. I want to keep it to the roots.
I think it's actually good that we can have a positive impact on our children like that. Our boy, he walks around just randomly humming and singing reggae tunes that I didn't realise he overheard me listening to. And they're not going to be like, they're not necessarily massively big tunes either, because I get all kinds of stuff sent through to me, and he'll be humming something that's maybe a little bit obscure that nobody will have heard of yet, but he loves it. So I think we're doing good.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Right, let's get one of your influence tracks on then. What do you fancy?
Yeah, Delroy Wilson, Rain from the Skies.
Brilliant song from Delroy Wilson, Rain from the Skies. What made you particularly choose that song as your big one?
This is a song that's near and dear to me because my dad used to sing this song all the time. And even my mother used to sing this song all the time. So it's pretty much embedded in my brain.
Happy memories.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to talk about your music again. Is there anything that's coming up that you'd like to promote, aside from your brand new EP that's out as we speak? But yeah, go for it. What do you want to put across?
I don't have anything out there that I want to promote other than the EP at this moment. But I'm working on some new material, and I think the Massive will be really appreciative of it. That's coming out.
Okay, we look forward to that with bated breath. Now, we're only going to manage to play a couple of songs from the EP, so how about telling us about the journey of the EP? What are the songs like? What can people expect?
I made it into like a storyline for myself. You know, Words was my first #1 hit here in South Florida. Stayed on the chart for 2 weeks. Then, you know, I came out with Still Be Here, which was another big hit on the UK side, which if everybody is familiar with Al Campbell, the G Baby rhythm, I did a song on that rhythm. Come Back Home was on the Undying Love rhythm. Ernest Wilson, I have a song called Come Back Home on that rhythm. And then there is It's Impossible, which was another big hit for Delroy Wilson. That was a song that was given to him by Bob Andy. May his soul rest in peace. Thank God I actually did that song 2 weeks before he passed. So hopefully he was able to hear it before he did.
Well, depending on what you believe, he can probably listen to it now.
Yes. Yes. And then after It's Impossible, then, Jah Is My Key. After Jah Is My Key, I came out with, My Time, the title track of the EP. And I also did a video for the title track of the EP, which, if anyone is interested, they could find it on YouTube under Lady Tia Reggae Official video, My Time.
I'll tell you where else they can find it. Every single featured artist that we include on the show actually gets their own page on the Offbeat Reggae Radio website. So I will make sure that said video is available from there as well.
Nice.
I know.
I like that.
Right. Let's get the title track of the album on then. What song can we expect right now?
My Time by Lady Tia.
I do things my way.
Title track of the EP My Time, Lady Tia. Again, thank you very much for talking to me. We're nearly done.
You're welcome.
All I want to do now is to make sure that people know where to go in order to get more information about yourself. So after the show is formally out on Mixcloud and the associated online broadcasters that push the show around, very kindly of them to do so as well, I will have updated the Offbeat Reggae Radio website so that you have your featured artist page. They can find a bunch of information on there about you. I end up putting up different aspects of your music, videos as well, and of course this interview as an audiogram. But if you did want to send them anywhere else, anywhere that you think that they should be checking out, where would you send them?
They would go to my Facebook page. They could look me up, Althea Brown, or I have a Lady Tia's page they could go to. They could find me on YouTube, and all my music is pretty much on all the digital outlets out there. I'm Googleable, like someone told me the other day. They typed my name, Lady Tia, into Google, and voila, there I was. I was shocked.
See, that's kind of amazing and also kind of frightening, don't you think?
Yes, very frightening.
Definitely.
Yeah, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. At least I wasn't known before, but I'm known now. So as long as they type in Lady Tia, everything for me pops up, musically. And I love it. It's, a part of the journey that's still going on.
Yeah, and it has to happen in order for you to promote yourself, doesn't it?
Exactly.
I remember the first time I Googled myself, I'd been working in professional radio for about a year and a half, and suddenly I found a forum where people were talking about me, and part of me was going, yeah, I'm famous, woo! And then the other part of me was like, yeah, but what are they saying? And yeah, then I hit the ground in burning flames.
Okay.
Slightly harsh.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, to find out more about Lady Tia, head to Google. That's what she tells us to do. Thank you so much for your time. It has been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. I wish you all the best for the future, and I hope you get to leave the house soon.
I hope so, because I need to leave the house soon. Well, nothing happened before the time. Hopefully, by the time all of this is over with, promoters will be knocking on my door, calling me for those, shows internationally. Hopefully on your side of your neck of the woods over in the UK, because I have a lot of fans over there.
We have done this shout out before, don't you worry. Any promoters that may be listening to the show, Lady Tia wants to hear from you.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Thank you so much, Offbeat, for taking the time out to promoting me and giving me this interview so that the world can recognize and know who Lady Tia is. Believe me, it's coming. It's coming. Just look out for, 2020, 2021 is going to be off the chain with the songs that are coming out.
Oh, I cannot wait. Take care of yourself, and I hope to speak. Anything new, let me know, yeah?
I sure will.